Have you guys heard about the Ressa Tessa story? The Ressa Tessa story is a woman who came on TikTok and made a 50-part series of her relationship that she had went through during the pandemic. Now, if you haven't heard about it, if you haven't saw it, if you haven't been on social media, or if you don't follow any like the blog sites and stuff like that, take some time out to go listen to the whole 50 series if you have time. If you don't, try to get the synopsis. I haven't had time to look at the 50-part series, but I've been talking to people that have seen it. I've done my research on TikTok in regards to what happened, how it's happened. He's responded. The ex-wife responded. It's kind of crazy. But we gonna start off with that because, I mean, you know, for those of you that do know about it, it's kind of crazy. Where this woman met a man during the pandemic. And like I said, this is like a 50-part series, and I'm kind of just giving you what I know. And I wanted to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's like the hot thing, hot topic right now. If you ain't up on it, please take the time to go look at it. But she meet this man during the pandemic. They end up moving in together after maybe like a couple of weeks of dating. He's showing her screenshots of all this money he has. He's promising her that he's going to buy her a house and, you know, just selling her dreams like most men do, right? She ends up getting pregnant. But comes to find out everything about him during this, and they end up getting married, right? So from the time they met during the pandemic up until recently, all of these things have happened. What up, Donald? All of these things have happened to where he's pretty much just bamboozled this woman into believing that he's something else. So let me get back to it. So he's like, he meets her, they move in together. He promises her, hey, I'm gonna buy you a house. You know, I'm gonna do all of these things for you. He's portraying like he's a CEO or he's like an assistant to a CEO or somebody. And she ends up getting pregnant. And the whole time he was just lying about everything. The whole time he was just lying about everything, just dragging this lady along. And she made a 50-part series about it. And when I mean, like I said, I really didn't have time to go through the whole thing. But when I mean, like, you know, people watched it and talked about it, it's like the hot topic right now. You know what I'm saying? So after she made this 50-part series about what he took her through, somebody went and found the guy. So now he's being bombarded with like, oh, you know, she done made this thing about you. And, you know, it's like a back and forth thing. But it just goes to show how conniving some men are. You know, I know men have they ways about themselves, and you know, men are taught. I forgot the saying, but I've said it on here before. Women wear makeup. I can't remember the saying, but it's something like women wear makeup for something and men tell lies or whatever. I'll try to remember. I'll look it up and try to remember it, whatever. But it just goes to show how gullible some women can be in regards to wanting to be in a relationship, and men are gonna lie. That's one thing that we are going to do. We're going to lie to get whatever it is that we want to get from a woman. And that's just something that is just, I think is just in men. You know what I'm saying? Men are going to always lie, and I'm not going to say connive, because connive is like, it's different than lying. You know what I'm saying? But men are going to tell you what you want to hear to get from you what they want. You know what I'm saying? And all men do it. If you meet a guy and all he wants to do is have sex with you, 9 times out of 10, what's the topic? Oh, we're talking about the Ressa Tessa situation right now. But we got some other stuff we're going to talk about. I just wanted to kind of get that out the way before we really get it popping. Men are going to lie, right? Men, when men want something from a woman, they're going to do any and everything in their power to get what it is that they want. So with the Ressa Tessa situation, a lot of people ended up meeting a lot of people during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Once they kind of shut the world down, a lot of people didn't want to be alone, and a lot of relationships came. What up, Scoa? A lot of relationships came out of that. But in this particular situation, this man like really just took this woman for a ride. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that somebody kind of brought up was like she was fat. And I know, I talk about fat women all the time, but they was just like, the perception that kind of came out of it is like fat women are always desperate. And that's how she ended up falling into the trap, being lied to and being connived and being pulled into the bullshit that he had, because none of the things that he offered her or he could have offered her panned out. Like all of it was a lie. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show how far men are willing to go to get what they want from a woman. And I can't necessarily say exactly what he wanted from her, but what up, Tamara? But at the same time, he definitely like took this woman for a ride. And it's like something that he does. He ended up having like a twin brother. The twin brother was who he was trying to be. Who he was portraying himself to be was who the twin brother was. The twin brother was the one that had the good job, had the company car, stuff like that. But, like I said, it just goes to show the lengths that a man will go to lie and connive and drag women. And I'm not saying that it's okay. I don't think it's okay to do that. But, some people, men and women are just out there. They mental like that. You know what I'm saying? What else, Siobhan? They're definitely mental like that. And like I said, a lot of you guys probably don't know about the whole Ressa Tessa situation. Do your research. Go and look at it if you got time. Go and listen to her story, and then maybe you'll kind of understand it a little bit better. Right? Now, since we got that out the way, we got, 10 people on here. I want to talk about, and I want to talk about tattoos, right? I don't have any tattoos, but I'm not against tattoos, not at all. I just finished watching it today. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. I don't have any tattoos. I'm not against tattoos. I've always kind of wanted tattoos, but I don't think I've ever really found anything. She lost me from the beginning, letting that nigga move in with her when they did it. Right, that's what I said to go. I was like, I think they wasn't even together like 3 months, and he was already moving in. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show. It just goes to show how things kind of happened during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like the pandemic just kind of like it made like a lot of people crazy, but at the same time, it brought people together, you know? But you're right. Like 3 weeks, I don't think if I met a female, I don't think I would let a female live with me within 3 weeks. It would have to at least be a couple of months, but 3 weeks, no. And the reason why I think, but see, it goes to women, you know, like it was only 2 weeks. He promised to pay her bills. You feel me? So as far as women go, like if you tell a woman you go take care of her, you go pay her bills, you go do this, you go do that, like women are just gullible around that. You know what I'm saying? What up, Kalisha? No, he did. And that's what I'm saying. Like he came in and did what he said he was gonna do. It was just all the other bullshit that came behind it that was just kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that was the catalyst for him to get inside. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing for him to get his foot in the door. Because if I meet a female and I tell her, hey, I'll pay all your bills, or I'll pay your bills, then it's like, oh, she like, oh yeah, hell yeah, nigga, I can save some of my money. What up, Mark? I can save some of my money, you know, shit, come on in. You know, and I think that's kind of like was the hook, line, and sinker for, you know, for him to kind of get his foot in the door. You feel me? But everything else, he just bamboozled her all the way. And then they ended up getting married. Like she ended up marrying this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he played her. He definitely played her, man. He definitely played her. Like I said, I didn't look at the whole 50-part series, but I was able to get the little bits and pieces from people talking about that shit. But it was kind of crazy, that situation. Oh, we talking about the Ressa Tessa situation. I know a lot of people probably don't know about it, but it was about a female who met a guy during the pandemic, and he ended up just being a straight up liar. She bypassing me. Exactly. And that's the thing, like when you're captivated by somebody, you see the red flags, but you kind of look past them. You know what I'm saying? And maybe she looked past it because she like, hey, this nigga paying my bills. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it is what it is. But once they got to the point of getting married, then she should have seen the red flags. But at the same time, it's a lot of women out here that's gullible. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women out here that are looking for companionship. And they're willing to look past the red flags in regards to just having somebody. My boy Rolling in the house. They just wouldn't look past just having somebody. You know what I'm saying? It gives off like desperateness. You feel me? But it's a lot of desperate women out here. It's a lot of women out here that's tired of being alone. No, she said that she didn't want to be. Exactly. That's what I just said. It's a lot of women out here that's just tired of being alone. Because see, the thing about it is that men, and I talk about this on the live, like men are starting to be okay with being by themselves. Men are starting to be okay with not being in relationships. Men are starting to be okay with just not having to deal with the bullshit that women bring into our lives. You know what I'm saying? Men are desperate as fuck out here building lives. I don't think that's true no more. I mean, I think at some point it used to be like that, but I think it's been kind of like a shift. You know what I'm saying? Like men are starting to be okay with just being by themselves, and women are complaining about that. But I think it's just because we just tired of the bullshit that women put us through. Like y'all always complain about the shit we put y'all through. Like y'all put us through shit too. So going back to like I was saying, you know, she was just tired of being alone. And like I said, all of this happened during the pandemic. Yes, sir. Again. Go on this page. She is in the process of condoning it. So far, there's 3 parts. Part 4 tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna check it out, Tagoa. So, you know, it just goes to show just how crazy relationships are at this point. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show how people are willing to just put up with and deal with just so they won't be alone. And it's more of a epidemic for women. You know what I'm saying? I fucking more with that video. You gotta get my shaking my wife and my daughter be talking about. She got doing the credit for what the fuck they talking about. Man, I'm an Aries, so you know I'm beyond crazy. But yeah, I mean, she didn't want to be alone, and I think it's a lot of women that's going through that type of stuff because they just don't want to be alone. Women are putting up, a lot of women are putting up with shit that they don't have to, or they might not have been putting up with because they tired of being alone. Because niggas are starting to be okay with just being by themselves, chilling. Like, you know, it is what it is. But getting to the next topic at hand, right? Tattoos. I don't have nothing against tattoos, but I'm starting to see a lot of women with neck tattoos. No lie, when she said his birthday, I was like, there you go, sorry for you, Gemini. Right. Nigga, I'm a great, exactly, rolling for sure. I'm with that. I'm with that. But this Ressa Tessa message is crazy, man. It just goes to show the length that men go to, and it goes to show the shit that women are dealing to put up with. Because women is tired of being alone. Women is tired of being lonely. What up, Tanya? Women is tired of being lonely. So it was kind of it's kind of messed up how he did her. But can you blame him? If you allow for him to get away with it for that long, then can you blame him? When you see the red flags, you got to remember, when a person show you who they is, you got to believe who they are. But a lot of times, I mean, we all look past the red flags, thinking that maybe something is going to change, thinking that maybe something's going to be different. You never know. I mean, not to say that people can't change, but it just depends on the person. It just depends on when. You know, it depends on if you cherish the person that you with enough to want to make that change. But we can revisit the Ressa Tessa thing. Now, I want to get into neck tattoos, right? Like I said, I'm not against tattoos. I don't have any. Not a one. A lot of stuff goes on because a lot of people don't have family figures of their own. That's why a lot of this food. That's why a lot of I heard the whole story. Listen to this shit, and that motherfucker was a special. Exactly, rolling for sure. And it's what he do. Like, it's obvious what he do. And Brian, I agree with you. You know, and I think I think it happens on both ends. You feel me? Like, when you don't have a solid structure, family, stuff like that, like, that's just what it is. That's just like mental illness now is such like a cop out. You know what I'm saying? Think about when we were younger, we had the special classes and stuff like that. Like, mental illness is such a cop out, but the thing about it is that it's real. Because this man, I mean, and like I said, he was married before this, so he obviously played the same trick on his ex-wife that he did on this. And I agree, mental illness is real. It's definitely real. It's definitely real, but it's so much different from when we were coming up. It's always been there, but it's so rampant now, and I think a lot of people kind of hide behind it. But I think it's a lot realer than maybe it was when we was younger. What took me out was him lying about when people die. Right, exactly, exactly. That fool was saying that people recently died, and they had died like years ago. Like, I think he said his grandmother recently died, and she died like years ago. Like, he was just making up lies for just no reason. But he was making up the lies to cover up the lies they were saying, because you got to remember, anytime you lie, you got to remember the lie that you said to cover up the lie. So a lot of times it's really not good to lie. Like, I mean, yeah, it's times you have to lie, but you can't continuously be a liar, because you go get yourself caught up, because you got to remember the lie that you told. Exactly. Who we talking about? We talking about the Ressa Tessa situation. I don't know if you might have seen it, but it's all over the internet about the woman that made the 50-part story on TikTok in regards to her last relationship and all the shit he put her through. But yeah, I believe he's mental. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, he probably got the next girl already lined up, already priming her, doing the same thing over and over. But like I said, if you allow for that man to get away with it, then what you expect? What do you expect? I think a lot of women are desperate enough to allow for it to go as far as it went. And then, at some point, you wake up. At some point, you change. At some point, you walk away. But shit, I think it took like 2 or 3 years. When was the pandemic? 2021? We in 2024? They end up getting married. She ended up getting pregnant. And this dude was just selling her pipe dreams. Exactly. 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 Exactamundo. All right. I guess y'all don't want to hear about the neck tattoos. He wasn't even giving her nothing. I didn't know about that. Hey, listen. Hey, Adi, I'm gonna talk about that next week. That's something that I got on my notes for next week, because I ain't gonna be able to get into all that today. What up, Dondo? We gonna talk about that next week, about not giving up none. Neck tattoos are all over the kids, right? So let's get on the neck tattoos, right? I'm starting to see a lot of females with fucking neck tattoos, right? She did the stretch story. I like that motherfucker. Exactly. I'm starting to see a lot of female with neck tattoos, right? On like here, and even like right here. And just like, what's that about, man? Can somebody help me out with that? Is that like, and it ain't just young people, so I can't just sit up here and say, oh, well, it's the new generation. Nah, I'm seeing women, shit, in their mid-30s, early 40s with neck tattoos and shit like that. And it's so prevalent now that I don't know. I don't think I could see myself messing with a woman with a neck tattoo. That's just me, though. I think that shit is ghetto. I think it's crazy. I don't know, but it's like everybody doing that shit now, or face tattoos. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, like face tattoos and neck tattoos. Like it just screamed ghetto. You know what I'm saying? It like when you see something like that, it's like, how do you, like, if when I come across people with face tattoos and neck tattoos, I'm like, you ain't gonna never, you never are gonna have like a regular 9 to 5 job, or nobody's gonna ever take you serious. Exactly, Roland. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like nobody will ever take you serious with neck tattoos and face tattoos and shit like that. Like you go hustle, you go connive, scam, thief, steal. You go do all kind of shit like that for the rest of your life with big ass neck tattoos or tattoos across your neck right here and shit like that. Like I would like I don't see how I don't see how people are even like doing that. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, motherfuckers like that ain't no real stepper. You know, they ain't true no more. Look at the professors on college. Why you think these youngsters die so fast? Like, yeah. Like I've seen just even just being out in the streets on social media, just like women with just neck tattoos all on their neck and face tattoos and stuff like that. And it's like that shit is ghetto, bro. Super ghetto. Super ghetto. Like, is it just our kids that's doing it? Like I said, not that I'm against tattoos. I don't have any. I would love to get one. I just ain't really found one that I really want. But to get a tattoo on your neck, across your neck, across your throat, stuff like that shit is crazy, man. I don't know. I could see myself doing it. I damn sure ain't gonna allow none of my kids to do it. I remember when I was in junior high school and I got both my ears pierced. At the time, that's when having both your ears pierced was like the shit. I got both my ears pierced. Nigga had to ask us where was we going. Exactly. I got both my ears pierced and my dad pulled up on me. These women are being brainwashed. That they hardly, Brian, totally. I don't get it. I wish I never got the one I got. They're so small. Yeah. I ended up getting both my ears pierced. And I remember my pops pulling up on me, and that nigga was just like, take that shit out right now. Made me straight. I just got them done. I had to take that shit out. So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, I hope, like, even, for example, like my son, my middle son, Joseph, he got a tattoo, right? And his mom didn't like call and tell me nothing. We was at his graduation and we was eating dinner and I saw it, right? And I'm like I looked at her and I'm like, and she looked at me and she looked at him and then she looked at me. She was just like, she just shook her head. I was like, I'm like, is that real? So I told him, I was like, come here. I was like, is that real, bro? So, you know, he came over there with his head down like, damn, my pop's about to trip. And, you know, I'm like, Joseph, is that a tattoo? He's like, yeah, Dad, I got a tattoo. I'm like, so you didn't think to, like, call and tell me you wanted to get a tattoo? We couldn't talk about this. He's like, oh, I knew you was going to trip, this, that, and that. I'm like, bro. Oh, no. So I just looked at his mom. I'm like, you knew about this? She was like, yeah, but I didn't want to say nothing. I'm like, all right, you know. Just as long as you ain't blasting your whole body and doing all that old shit, I'm cool with it. You can have one or two, but don't get too crazy with this shit. But like I said, neck tattoos, nah, bro. Can't even do it. Can't even do it. So, I got something else I want to talk about, but I don't think I'm gonna talk about it yet. I'm gonna put a little star right here. Another situation happened today, and maybe I'll talk about it next week because I don't think you guys have seen it yet. So I'll talk about it next week. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like my pops was like, nigga, like we don't what? He was like getting your ear pierced in both ears is for women. We don't do shit like that, bro. He made me take that shit out. For real. For real, for real. All right, so I got something else I want to talk about. Now, all right, we off the tattoos. The tattoos, it ain't really going nowhere. So now, I want to talk about real hair. I want to talk about natural hair versus weaves and lace fronts. I've always been like a natural hair guy, right? I've always loved women with natural hair. But I'm not against weaves either, right? Um, my mother was a beautician. My oldest son's mom is a beautician. My sister's a beautician. So I've been around them all my life, right? Totally been around them all my life. But me personally, fuck them wigs, nigga. Hey, Roland, for real. Look, so me personally, I've dated women that wore weaves, right? I've always been into women with long hair, and I'm especially like a sucker for ponytails. I love women that wear ponytails, right? Like I wouldn't give a fuck. You can wear a ponytail every day. I mean, I want you to get your hair done, but if you wear a ponytail, you can wear it back, you can wear it, up, whatever. Like I'm just like, it's just something about women with natural hair and ponytails that just really like turn me on. That's always been a turn on for me, right? And when women were getting weaves, let's get on these men wearing fake hair. We're gonna talk about that. Women wearing weaves just back in the days was like cool because they would have to get it sewed in. Like it was really, even though it wasn't their natural hair, it flowed and it looked like it looked good. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked more like their natural hair. But these motherfucking lace fronts, these lace fronts, bro, is wicked, man. I can't I can't even see myself messing with a chick that wears a lace front. I can't even see myself with a chick that wears a lace front. I would prefer you just go ahead and just get a sew in or get a weave done instead of getting a lace front, because if you guys don't know about the lace fronts, like the lace fronts is supposed to blend in with the color of their skin. And I know everybody don't necessarily may not have the money to get the best lace front or the one that really blends in with their skin or whatever it may be, but these fucking lace fronts, this shit is just it's crazy now. It's crazy. Like me going forward, if I met a girl wearing a lace front, I'd be like, no, I'm good. I wouldn't give a fuck how like God would have to literally come and tell me that's the woman for you if she's wearing a lace front. Because if she's wearing a lace front, I can't see myself fucking with her or talking to her. I'll be like, you gotta wear your natural hair. But these lace fronts, y'all women gotta y'all women talk about like men being fake and stuff like that, but y'all wear all this fake shit. Fake eyelashes, lace fronts, what else? Contacts, nails. Like I don't know. Brian said, let's talk about these men wearing these fake ass, this fake ass hair. Imagine fighting with your teenager to keep them out of the lace. Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is it's like, you know, especially these young kids, they the one that's really you. I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm glad my kids ain't like me. My kids, none of my kids are nothing like me, but they like me, right? Me growing up, I grew up. Those of you that know where I grew up there. So I grew up a little bit different, right? All of my kids are not like me. But one thing I can honestly say, like my daughter, I've taught my daughter to have her own mind, her own way of looking at things. And like my daughter has bought, you know, I've had to pay for like weave hair and stuff like that, but she ain't really into that shit. Imagine. She really ain't into that. You know what I'm saying? She wear her natural or she get braids and stuff like that. Like she ain't really into that. Exactly, with the little curly edges. I'm good to get, yep. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, Roland, I love ponytails. Like you wear a ponytail, my nigga, you got me. I mean, I want you to get your hair done if we going out somewhere or something like that. But if you decide to wear your hair in a ponytail all the time, I'm cool with that. No problems. But my daughter, she don't fuck with no lace front. She don't do none of that shit, bro. My son, you know, even like my middle son, he got a girlfriend. He cool. He nice to her and all that other stuff. Like my kids ain't like me. They all a lot nicer than I am. But I don't know. I prefer real hair. At this point, I can't see myself dating somebody that wear a lace front. If I was to meet a girl wearing a lace front, I'd probably be like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. Can't do it. She gotta have her real hair or nothing at all. Now, if she decides to put some weave or, you know, a couple extensions, I'm cool with that. But her shit gotta pretty much be natural. And Brian said, let's talk about these men wearing these fake ass hair. Attention, I'll take a basket. Right, exactly. Me too, nigga. Brian said, talk about the man with the fake hair. You know, right now, people are so caught up on their looks that they're willing to do any and everything to try to make themselves look better than what is. And it's not that you can't look better. You should always want to look good and look great in anything that you do. You know what I'm saying? You always want to try to look at the best of your ability. But I seen a video the other day where this man had like, it was, I don't know if it was black. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it didn't even look like real hair. It looked like he took like a black marker and just painted himself up. And it's like, how the hell are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like why are you doing that? Just be yourself. But the problem is that nobody wants to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is trying to do any and everything to have some type of edge in regards to, you know, trying to look a certain way. Even with the women wearing the lace fronts. A lot of these women that wear lace fronts, you're going to know. A lot of these women that's wearing lace fronts probably got good, pretty natural hair. You know what I'm saying? But it might not be long enough. It might not be thick enough. It might not give the look that you're trying to give. And that's cool, but you can't have no cheap ass lace front. You got it. You in this day and age, you got to spend the money to look good. You got a cheap ass lace front, might as well just go natural. But everybody want to look the part, but don't want to be the part. So shout out to all y'all women that wear y'all hair natural, that don't give a fuck about all this lace front, this weave shit. I give it to y'all, but woof, I can't do it. At this point in life, I can't do it. And like I said, it's not to say that I ain't dated women with weaves. I have. I've dated women that had lace fronts, so don't think I'm attacking the women or I'm saying like, oh, I ain't never did. I have. Definitely have. Can I do it now at this point? Nah. If I talk to a woman or got at a woman, good night, I'm done. All right, good night. If I talk to a woman, got at a woman that had a lace front, nah, I'm cool. I think I'm gonna stick to the natural. I should say she done. So, I wanted to talk about something else, but since we got like 10 minutes to go, we just go kick around. So, it's actually two things I want to do, but I'm gonna save it for next week. I'm gonna save it for next week. But the Ressa Tessa situation was crazy. Was dumb crazy. Y'all women, look, women, when y'all get out here and y'all meet guys, don't allow him to sell you dreams, right? And I know a lot of y'all out here tired of being by yourself. Y'all desperate, lonely, all that good stuff. I get it. But I always say, you got to give a man 90 days. And I'm going to say this for the fellas too. Don't jump into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship until after at least 90 days. What up, Ty? Let me repeat that. Don't jump into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship at least for 90 days. Jay-Z said in one of his songs, it's only so long fake thugs can pretend. So usually when I talk about 90 days, I mean, you meet somebody, anytime you meet somebody, they're going to give you their representative. They're going to be nice. They're going to do all of the nice things that y'all women like for men to do and blah, 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 dee-dee-dee-dee-da. They're going to do all of that, right? And they're going to get you to the point to where you're hooked. They're spending time with you. They're doing all the things they do. Y'all jump into a relationship or y'all make it official or however y'all do it or whatever, however it go. However they pull you in, and you, they girl, and they your guy and all this other stuff, right? But if this Ressa Tessa chick would have just hung out, spent time, kicked it, did all the other shit, but really didn't make it a relationship within a 90 days, she probably would have been able to look and see it from a different angle. But by her not taking the time out to look at it from a different angle, she got bamboozled into what it is today. Me personally, I always say, give a person at least 90 days, because if they can be consistent in who they are, what they are, how they are for 90 days, then that's probably who they truly are. But after 30 days, 40, 50, 60, days, if you start to see some things kind of change, some red flags kind of pop up, then you know that that's not who they truly are. I always say never jump into a relationship. Always take time to have fun, get to know the person. At least give it 90 days. If you can't, if it's moving fast and you really feeling this person is solid, to give it like 30, well, not even 30. I'll say give it like 60 days. That's 2 months. Because a person is going to show you who they really are within at least the second month. So maybe if she wasn't desperate, she would have took the time to really see who this person was, what he was about. Then maybe she wouldn't have got bamboozled the way she did. And you got to remember, men are going to always come in. Men are going to always come in giving you the things that you want. Like men know what women want. And we're going to always play on that. We're going to always come in with that. Like, she didn't want to be alone during a pandemic. You know, he came in like, hey, I'm going to pay your bills. So that's enough. All right. You know, I'm going to come in, I'm going to pay your bills. Like, we know the shit to do and say to you to like really get you hooked in and get you hooked into us. And once we got our hooks in you, then that's when we, you know, we kind of start to be ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, give a nigga like 60 days, at least 60 to 90. I say if the person is really solid and they're being consistent and you know that they ain't on no bullshit, 60. What up, Brittany? You know, but if you kind of like iffy with the person, get that person 90 days. Like anytime any of my homies, I love your ideas, 90 days. I say give them some. Yeah, I mean, listen, Brian, I say 90 days if it's kind of hot and heavy. But yeah, I would agree about 6 months. I say 3 to 6 months. Because like I said, it's only so long fake thugs can't pretend. It's only so long that a motherfucker can fake who they are. If this is really who they are, they gonna stand on that and they gonna be who they are every day. You know what I'm saying? But if it's hot and heavy and you kind of can see that this person is really pretty solid, I would say at least 60 to 90 days. Me personally, I would do like 6 months. I've always said I give it about 6 months because within a 6 month period, you know if that person is really who they are. But sometimes you could just meet somebody that's just hella dope. Y'all really vibing. Y'all really fuck with each other. This person really just hold you down. They got your back. Everything is cool. You know what I'm saying? But I still say you should give it at least 60 to 90 days at the minimum. Maybe 6 months at the max before you decide to, you know, want to become boyfriend and girlfriend or get into a relationship. Because I'm going to tell you what happens with men, right? We meet y'all. Everything is cool. We feeling you. We liking you. You know, we chilling. Everything is just flowing. But then, what up, Sam? But then, you know, we kind of start to get bored or it just becomes monotonous or it's like whatever. True, very rare. Yeah. It's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So once that kind of comes into play, then that's when men kind of switch up. That's when men start fucking with other chicks, kicking it, you know, kind of pushing you aside, not spending time with you, not so that's what I'm saying. Like between 60, 90, 6 months, you can really tell if a person is really fucking with you. If they really like they fucking with you tough. I mean, and it can go vice versa. Same thing with women. You know, sometimes women may get bored or, you know, that man ain't pulling his weight or he may do something or he may, you know, not quite be cut out for what you want. And then it kind of like part ways. But like I've said before, like when you dealing with somebody and once you kind of become boyfriend and girlfriend, it's a little bit harder to just be like, oh, I don't want you no more. You know what I'm saying? So you end up being stuck in a relationship that you might not be happy in. But the simple fact that you have made it official kind of makes it a little bit harder for you to just walk away. Where if y'all just kicking it, having fun, doing what y'all do, it's a little bit easier if it just ain't working out. Or if you just really figure out that this person really ain't just lining up with the things that I want them to line up with, it's easier for you to walk away. So this, and then the other part is that, like I always say, anytime you make it official, that means that person is, that person has accountability for you. And it goes for men and women. When you just, in a situationship, or you just learning each other, or really feeling each other out, like that person really can't say too much of what you decide you want to do. But when you make it official, then you gotta kind of, abide by the rules. You gotta kind of like be like, hey, I want to do this. You have to be accountable to each other. And that goes for men and women, not just women and men. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody's accountable to each other. But when you're dating, or you're getting to know each other, or y'all just having fun, and during the 60, 90, 120 days, 6 months, whatever, and you guys are really getting to know each other, then you don't have to be accountable to that person. And I think it works out. It works out better. I mean, nobody wants to waste 6 months of their time, but if you take, 60, 90 days to really figure out if this is really what you want to do, then you won't be wasting your time. And to me, I think that's important. I think that's kind of how we should date in 2024. Now, if you decide to talk to other people, or if you're dealing with other people, I can't really speak for that. But usually, if you feeling somebody and you really, you really chilling with them, and you're really trying to see where this can go, then take the time out to allow for that to be what it is, because within the 60, 90, 4 months, 5 month time period will really allow you to see if this is really what you want to do with this person, or if you can see yourself with a future with this person. Because, like I said, I don't have no problem with talking about where I fucked up, because I'm human. I think I'm a hell of a nigga, but at the same time, I make mistakes too. I give you an example. Like, I dated this female for a year. People just really don't know how to be alone. And I mean, true. I dated this chick for like a month. We kind of made it official. After that month, shit just kind of went haywire. And like I said, instead of me just being like, I'm good, I'm pushed, I'm going to roll on, it kind of drug on a little bit longer than it should have, because I didn't want to just be like, oh, well, hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of drug on a little bit longer than it should have. And I learned from that, because if I would have, I feel like if I would have stuck to the 60, 90 day rule, then after that first month, I probably would have left her the fuck alone. I definitely would have walked away from her. Because after that month situation, she was able to show her true colors. So, me now, and after that situation, it's just like, I take time to really get to know a person, to see if this is what I really want. Because like I said, we ain't spring chickens no more. We a lot older. There's a lot of shit we ain't putting up with. And I'm sure you showed your ass. So, I show my ass. I always show my ass. I wouldn't be me if I didn't show my ass. I show my ass. I definitely did that. But I only show my ass because I was provoked to show my ass. I don't show my ass just because I have to. If I'm provoked to show my ass, I will. And I usually do. But I learned from that. So, Me personally, if I'm dating somebody, whatever it is, then yeah, it's gonna be 3 to 6 months before anything happens. Unless God come to me and say that's her. If God come to me and say that's her, it ain't nothing to be said. See, you read the comment wrong. And I'm sure you showed yours as well. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's what I said. That's why I think it's important to. You know what I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like I get on here and I talk shit and I say what I say, but it's so much other higher knowledgeable shit that I can say in regards to a lot of shit that I say, but I don't because that'll be just getting too technical with shit. But to be honest with you, you really ain't even supposed to date. That's really not how that's really not how it's set up to be. We really ain't supposed to go on dates. We really ain't supposed to date a person. But I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because I don't think y'all ready for that. But it's 10 o'clock. It's time for me to get off. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Every Thursday. Appreciate y'all. Next week, I plan on doing something at the end of tonight's live. But I think I'm gonna push it to next week. I'm gonna do 2 separate things next week in regards. Well, I'm gonna have a lot to talk about next week. This week was kind of cool, but next week will be we gonna have it cracking here next week. But I'm gonna really be talking shit. Like I said, every Thursday we do this 9 o'clock. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Thank you for the comments. Like I said, if there's anything that you guys want me to talk about, hit my inbox. We do this every Thursday. Appreciate y'all for being here. Good night. See y'all next Thursday.